Well, we begin with our top story from Nepal. A nation in turmoil after its government's attempt to shut down social media sparked one of the deadliest uprisings in recent years. At least 19 people have been killed and more than 300 are injured. We're told around 400 are injured after protests swept through Kathmandu and other cities on Monday, triggered by a sweeping ban on platforms like Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp and X. The Oli government, under fire for corruption and misgovernance, revoked the ban late last night after hours of violence, but the damage is done. This was more than just about apps being blocked. It was Nepal's digital generation rising against what they see as an assault on free speech and democracy itself. My colleague Aditya Raj Paul has been tracking the latest. Let's quickly go across to Aditya for the latest update.
Hello and very good morning to our viewers watching us in India and all across the globe. This is a very special bulletin coming to you live from Kathmandu in Nepal. A day after the deadly Monday in Nepal where more than 19 people were killed, mostly youth, including a 12-year-old, and more than 247 were injured. We're reporting live, the only Indian media contingent reporting continuously live from the entire deadly violence that was reported in Kathmandu. I am standing in the heart of the city here at around 7 a.m. this morning to get you the latest. In fact, in my hand is the newspaper here from Kathmandu, Nepal, which says the Home Minister quits as 19 killed in the Gen Z protest. We've seen this in Bangladesh, we've seen this in Sri Lanka, and before that in several other countries. Is this a social media-led unrest against corruption, against mismanagement, and against any kind of transparency in the KP Sharma Oli government? There are a lot of questions that the Nepal government will have to answer. Of course, the Home Minister has resigned. Of course, there's been a statement issued by the Cabinet, by the Information Minister. But is that enough? Are these concessions enough for the protesters, for the youth of Nepal to consider going back to their homes? Today, perhaps after 10 a.m., there are more protests that are being witnessed, clearly saying that the main issue wasn't the social media ban, but of course, a larger issue of what has been happening here in Nepal. The Prime Minister, KP Sharma Oli, has also, in fact, backed the social media ban and has refused to resign. The Home Minister has resigned, and this is the latest that we are picking up from Kathmandu, Nepal. The KP Sharma Oli government trying to brazen it out. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli is not in a mood to resign from the government. The Home Minister Ramesh Lekhak has been made the scapegoat. He has resigned at this particular stage. Social media, of course, was banned. I don't know who in the government, who in the bureaucracy, or who in the Communist Party really advised them to ban the social media, which is really the pulse of the youth, not just in Nepal, but all across the globe. Here, the daily life is affected, but here you can see early morning buses and some other activity taking place. But in the heart of the city, there's been a curfew that was underway completely in the last few hours. But to get a sense of what's been happening, last night there was a cabinet meeting that decided that Home Minister would be resigning. He resigned and it was accepted. Social media ban would be lifted. The 26 sites that were banned, the ban was lifted. But let's listen in to the Minister of Information of Nepal, Mr. Gurung, as he announced the latest that was done after the massive protest here in Kathmandu.
गरेको निर्णयहरू सार्वजनिक गर्न चाहन्छु। आज मिति 2082 भदौ 23 गतेको दिन जेनजी युवाहरूको आह्वानमा काठमाडौँको नयाँ बानेश्वर लगायत देशको विभिन्न स्थानमा भएको प्रदर्शनका क्रममा मृत्यु भएका व्यक्तिहरूप्रति नेपाल सरकार गहिरो दुःख व्यक्त गर्दछ। सो क्रममा घाइते भएका व्यक्तिहरूको शीघ्र स्वास्थ्य लाभको कामना गर्दछ। यस घटनामा मृत्यु भएका व्यक्तिहरूको परिवारप्रति समवेदना व्यक्त गर्दै नेपाल सरकारले उचित राहत उपलब्ध गराउनेछ।
NDTV continues its relentless reportage from Kathmandu in Nepal to get you the latest from here on ground, to know what the youth protest is all about, to know what is the stance of the government and how long will this intensify really. But last night, in the middle of the night, NDTV was reporting from the Civil Service Hospital of Nepal. That is where the maximum of the injured youth have been in fact kept, and they are getting medical attention. But the reality is, what was their fault? Why was there firing in the protest? Why exactly were tear gas shells fired? We caught up with some of the relatives and the youth of those who are injured at the Civil Services Hospital. Here's my report. NDTV is reporting live from this particular location, which is the Civil Service Hospital of Nepal. This is where more than 100 of the protesters who were injured have been brought in. In fact, it was a deadly Monday for the youth in Nepal because more than 19 have succumbed to the injuries. They've been killed in clashes that have been reported all through in Kathmandu, Nepal. In fact, many more have been injured, more than 350 injured. You can see here many relatives have collected for their loved ones, waiting to see them and get first glimpse of what really happened. The local protesters here and youth are saying that this is a Gen Z protest, but the main demand is the resignation of the Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli, and also that the government should completely fall and there should be elections for a new vibrant government that can fight the corruption in the system. Apart from that, there has been also a social media ban that has been reported here. But the big question, will there be actually changes in the government, because the Home Minister has resigned, but that hasn't really ended the protests out here in Kathmandu, Nepal. Reporting from Kathmandu in Nepal, covering the protests, this is Aditya Raj Kaul with video journalist Prem Singh reporting for NDTV.